So I'm back for a third week with my friend Matt Rosenberg. He is a rabbi at a Messianic congregation. And Matt, what is Messianic Judaism?
So the word messianic means the same, comes from Hebrew, and it means the very same thing that Christian means, coming from Greek. Christian means follower of Christ. Messianic means follower of Messiah. And so we are both Messianic Jews and Messianic Gentiles that want to worship God with some kind of Jewish expression. So we meet on Saturdays. We have this as a Torah scroll that I'm holding, and we follow some Jewish traditions and some of the things that it says in the Hebrew Scriptures.
So what you have in your hands right now is something that's really important to your life as a congregation. Tell us about what is a Torah, and tell us about this scroll.
So these scrolls are handwritten, and they're handwritten by scribes and are still handwritten today. It's important that they get every letter right. So if a scribe messes up a letter, they have to scrap the whole parchment and start over. They're in sections, so it's not the entire thing. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And we have, I think, what you call a lectionary, right? We have a Torah cycle of reading that takes us in 1 year from Genesis to the end of Deuteronomy, and the scroll goes from Genesis to Deuteronomy, and it's an important part of our, read from it every week and follow along with all the rest of the Jewish world and what we read.
So speaking of that cycle, a pretty important thing happens this week. It's called Simchat Torah, and it's a special celebration in the life of the congregation. Tell us about Simchat Torah.
Right. Simchat Torah literally means rejoicing in the Torah. And so we're grateful that God has given us his word. For us as a Messianic congregation, we're grateful for the whole Word of God from Genesis to Revelation, the Hebrew Scriptures, and also the New Testament. And so the Torah symbolizes that for us. And Simchat Torah is just a time to celebrate the fact that God has given us his Word, and it was a gift for us. We take this scroll out, we read from the end of Deuteronomy, and then we roll the Torah back, because you can't open a scroll like you open a book, or like flip on your Kindle to the next page. You have to literally roll it to the section that you want. Our readings, it ends at the end of Sukkot. We've finished Deuteronomy, and then the week after Simchat Torah, the Saturday after, we start again in Genesis. So in Simchat Torah, we roll the scroll back from Deuteronomy to Genesis. And we invite everybody in our community to come up as families, and everybody has a part in helping us roll the scroll back. We throw candy because we want the kids to know that there's sweetness in the Word of God. And it's really just a lot of fun. We dance. Different people will take the Torah and we'll dance with it during the service around the room, just as a celebration of all the things that God has given us in his Word.
So the whole congregation will dance with the Torah. And I mean, you'll dance with the Torah, and you'll dance it around the room while the band plays.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it must be a whole lot of joy.
It's a lot of rejoicing, and we're just thankful that God has given us his Word, because it's the whole counsel of God, and it's important for how we live our lives.
Cool. That is beautiful. And I hope your Simchat Torah celebration this week is awesome. Thank you so much for spending the time these last few weeks to tell us a little about what really is our heritage too. These beautiful traditions that God has given us as God's people. So, shalom.